Hi, my name is Kislyi and I'm the CEO of Wargaming.net. We make this game called World of Tanks, and by the way, today is exactly 4 years since the date of the first commercial launch of the game. So the game is 4 years old, but it's not actually old. It's we develop this game every day, every week, every month. Every 2 months we release a new update, and we hope, we throw resources and money and people and our attention for this game to live for another 10, 20, why not 50 years.
What is it about tanks that so many people are interested in?
Well, I think there's definitely some magic around tanks. Well, we all know that there was, World War II, where those tanks were going back and forth in Europe, and this is obviously a big part of history of Russia and Belarus and Germany and Poland and Spain, well, before World War II. So, and our granddads were fighting with these machines, and it's a big part of the history. Tanks in some sense shaped the world. Unfortunately, even today tanks run back and forth in some parts of the world, and this is not good. Of course we don't support the real war. We are more of a chess company if you think about this. So when you go to the tank itself, what is not to like? This is World of Tanks. This is a game for guys. We have the majority of our players, of course, are guys, and tank is power. It represents a lot of things which we all have in our DNA. Also, it's easy to operate, and it's a very simple construction. It has a hull which moves. It has tracks, because not everywhere you have nice German autobahns, right? Sometimes you have to go through the mud, or through a desert, or through, I don't know, water. So it has tracks, and it has a turret with a gun. That's it. Why do we have a turret? Because the enemy can come out from anywhere, so you have to be able to rotate to point. And it's very heavy. Why? Because it has armor. Why does it have armor? Because the enemy from time to time is shooting at you, so you have to have some protection. So you have to have powerful engine, and guys like engines, right, when it comes to cars, for example. So I think tank combines as a concept a lot of elements which are very dear to our hearts, say like a car, engine, power, armor, precision, engineering, okay, fighting, let's face it. So the life is not an easy thing, so you have to be ready to fight, and many people, of course, these days we definitely don't support the real fight, but chess matches are good. In chess, if you think about this, you also kind of kill the enemy figures. So this all came to the point where World of Tanks just emerged and fueled this love for tanks. Plus there are museums. I think this is a very important part of our success. If you go to Russia, if you go to America, if you go to England, to Germany, to Holland, you can always find a government-funded or a private collection of tanks, and you can go and touch them. And when you see a King Tiger tank, like in Bovington in England, it's big. It's very big, and you realize, wow, it takes a lot of time and money and efforts to make that, and this thing was actually moving and shooting. This is impressive. I want to try this in a computer game now for sure.
And for my first question then, obviously 4 years, what's been the most surprising thing for you from when you started to now, as far as World of Tanks, all the general franchise in general?
It was 4 years ago when we launched the game, or 6 years ago when we started the development. It was very, very risky, and most of the people from the media, from the industry, they were saying that you guys are crazy, like nobody will play a game about tanks, like MMO about tanks. What is that? Nobody will be associating himself with a machine. A bipod, an elf or orc, it's easier because it looks like a human, or a dragon, okay, maybe. But tank, no way. And free to play, are you crazy? Like, nobody's gonna pay you money, so you will go bankrupt the next day. Both of those things we proved that wrong, and really we were very, very surprised even our wildest dreams did not have such numbers and such fast growth. So we surprised the world and we surprised ourselves with, yes, tank combat, yes, MMO about tanks, and yes, this free-to-play monetization, because the voices we heard were saying that in the West free-to-play will not work. Premium box, 50 euros, 60 euros, retail, that's going to rule the world. No, we did something different, and it was a good experience.
Talking about free-to-play, you were of course the first big success of that type of business model, and it's pretty much the same now that this was like from the beginning. So it's been very successful for you. Yet so many people nowadays, because it's become a trend, try it. So what do you think about when you see what others do with free-to-play when compared to you guys?
Well, this is not completely true that we did not change it. We actually changed and evolved it, and quite a lot. For example, sometime like a year and a half ago approximately, we modified our free-to-play into free-to-win. Let me explain. You have some micro-payment options for those things which do not affect the gameplay. For example, premium account, it's 8 euros per month, and it does not make you stronger on the battlefield. It just gives you 50% extra experience points after each battle. Easy. But we had used to have so-called golden bullets, which you can buy for real money only, which have just higher penetration chance for the armor. And then we realized that, okay, this is a little bit against our philosophy of being, you know, true to your players, and no money can affect battlefield balance. So we made yet another very risky and very, I should say, brave step, announcing free-to-win. Literally everything which can affect the result of the battle now is available. Okay, still for money. You know, for guys like me who have work, I have family, I would rather spend extra, you know, 15 euros per month. That's easy. It's like what, 2 hamburgers, right? It's a movie ticket. And buy golden bullets. But for the rest, you know, for teenagers or for schoolboy, or for anyone who just does not want to play, they can buy those golden bullets with the credits which they can earn inside the game. This, by the way, is perfect for esports. Now everyone is 100% equal when it comes to special matches or championships. So we keep moving with free-to-play. We evolve it.
Yeah, just to notice. I know that, but I mean, obviously in the game that's a big difference. But I mean, in general, you haven't completely changed how it works for you, and that's what I meant. So when you now see what others try to do, and some are successful and some are not so.
You know, frankly speaking, of course we have a lot of questions from everywhere about competition, about this, about that. If you go to App Store now and type tanks, even before our World of Tanks Blitz, that will be 50, 100 different tank games. Frankly speaking, it's not that we don't care about them. The reality is that our numbers are not greatly affected by any of the competition. The only, and this is true, it's not a joke, the only big competitor which we can see in our numbers is World Cup of football. You know, when there was Brazil, and when Germany was playing, we immediately saw a 10-15% drop. Like the match starts, it drops 15%, the population. And then 45 minutes after, back again, even in Blitz. So I mean, halftime they're playing, and then the second half starts and 15% drop again. So, but the truth is that it's not about what competition does. That in this world, these days, any product, not necessarily computer games, whatever success you demonstrate, sooner or later people will follow and try to copy you. Fine, but we know. I mean, we know that in order to be successful at such huge scale, your game, your product, and the service around your product has to be perfect. So I think, and this is not arrogance, this is true, because we have the data, we are analyzing this for the last 4 years, we are our own biggest competitor. So it's not that World of Tanks exists. Yes, of course, with such huge numbers and certain saturation on some markets, like for example Russia or Iceland or Poland, World of Tanks is, you know, is played by percents of the whole population, 2, 3, 4% of the whole population. So this is quite saturated, you know, penetration. But apart from that, we're competing against these games are driven by updates. Like, okay, you release the game, then you do update number 1. Okay, people are happy. Then you do update number 2. People are happy. Right now, World of Tanks, we are running update number 26, 25. So people are comparing the new stuff, not with 4 years ago, zero, you know, release game, but with update number 25, 24, 23, and which were already good. So you have to become better and better and better every time after 25 updates, and this is not easy.
You're talking about success in your competition. That kind of leads me on that I think probably potentially one of your biggest competitors is probably yourself. So when you have the likes of World of Warplanes come out, I'm presuming you have players that are loyal to the franchise, so you have a lot of World of Tanks players wanting to play World of Warplanes, so you're potentially losing players going to different games and things. However, some would argue that maybe World of Warplanes hasn't quite been as successful as you've seen with World of Tanks. What would you attribute that to?
Well, definitely, if you compare the numbers, World of Tanks is huge and World of Warplanes is not near these numbers. But at the end of the day, you know, this is entertainment, right? And nobody can force people to play this particular game. So this is what we did. Our philosophy is this: we're giving players a choice. Today we can firmly say that we have more than 100 million registered players across our products all around the world. It's a lot of people, and you cannot make one thing which everyone likes. So this is what we do. We're trying to push this freedom of choice concept in every element of our games. Our monetization is very easy. We don't squeeze money out of you, and if you choose not to pay and just spend a little more time playing the game for the strategic progression, you can do that. We're not be chasing you and saying, hey, why don't you pay after playing 2 years? You can play for 2 years World of Tanks or World of Warplanes without paying anything, and the game will bring you a lot of enjoyment, and you will be winning, participating in tournaments and clans and everything. The next step, what we did, we just united the account. So we have one wargaming.net account which serves as your login to all 3 products, and you choose which one to play. This, again, very brave and risky move was to unify premium account. So we don't want to charge you extra €8 for World of Warplanes premium account. So if you have it once for any of the games, it automatically works for planes and for ships. So again, this is your choice where you would like to spend your time. And some people like me, I'm splitting my time between planes and tanks, and now Blitz is taking most of my time. Maybe 10 months from now I will be playing only World of Warships for 2 months, and then I go back again to tanks with the new update of whatever, some new tanks or some new maps or some new gameplay mode. So our philosophy is we give now hundreds of millions of players, 100 million players, freedom of choice, how to spend your time, how big your playing sessions are, because those are 5-7 minutes, so you can play 3 hours in a row, or with Blitz you can play in a taxi while driving to work 5-7 minutes and still get satisfaction.
Can I just follow up with that? So as far as that goes, you can obviously, because people are tied together by their account across the different games, and presumably you can see what games they're playing. Are you finding that players are, like you say, playing one, then playing the other, then playing the other, or are people sticking more or less to one particular game?
Well, of course, when it comes to other platforms like Xbox and iOS, this is just different market, right? Who plays Xbox? Americans and English people, Spanish, French, who just used to play on the console, and they don't play on the PC, so there is no choice there. We just went where our customers were, and we gave them Xbox version. iPad, oh, of course, if you have iPad, you probably have PC or Mac too, so, but you play different time. Definitely with the PC version, we have 8 o'clock prime time, around 8 o'clock. This is when guys like me, have a chance to go home and have some personal time. With iPad, we don't have such like huge peak at 8 o'clock. You can play at lunchtime, you can play while at work, you can play while, between your lessons at school or university. So it's again, this is freedom. We don't put any limits, and people choose their platforms or playing time or amount of the gameplay time naturally. We don't force anything. We say, hey, this is something we made for you, and you can enjoy this. And by the way, for free. If you want to pay down the road sometime in the future, we're fine with that, right? If you don't want to play, okay, don't. We still give you service. We still give you support. We still run forums for you. We still run around the world doing presentations, doing movies, doing some, funny stuff on the side, organizing esports and championships. Everything is for you. Your only choice is when and where and how much to enjoy. And again, you choose the game, you choose the platform. That's a beautiful situation, and it pays off. Trust me.
So, as mentioned, the World of Tanks is now available on console, on Xbox 360, and on tablets, and they are really well tailored to their platforms. And but on top of that, you have a World of Warplanes and World of Warships coming out. You have a active esports thing. So how are you handling all that different stuff? Because that's a lot of stuff to do.
Well, of course, our work is not only to build World of Tanks. My primary job, and people around me, to build Wargaming, to turn it into the best company, the best IT company in the world. Because it's 3,500 people today who are making all those things. And again, this is not easy. There are millions of business books and teamwork, leadership, MBA, the universities, their courses, the Harvard, the Princeton. So of course we're trying to get all possible fresh information about new trends, about how to do this. But at the end of the day, this is how you feel inside as a company. It's about your spirit. This is about your values. This is about your teamwork. This is about your DNA. I think the founders of Wargaming were good people. We're good people. We're humble. We're hardworking. Yes, we can work hard. We can celebrate hard too, if needs to be. And those values, this tolerance, politeness, if you would. But again, hard work. Results first, and process is second to the results. So this philosophy we try to spread. Sometimes we acquire studios, sometimes we build our presence from zero, especially in publishing. And wherever we go, we try to unite people. Yes, it's a family, but it's not like little boys and girls playing together. It's not that kind of family only. It's also an alliance of professionals. It's an alliance of responsible professionals. Again, we can play hard and we can enjoy and celebrate hard, but before that we have to work hard. Plus we are very international. So right now we have 16 offices all around the world, from Sydney and Singapore and Tokyo, all the way through Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and up to West Coast of America. So different nationalities, languages, cultural differences, time difference. So of course we use technology like video conferencing to bring people together. We take every opportunity like Gamescom, like G-Star, like E3 to bring our people, to bring our developers, our producers, our publishing people, community people, esports people, marketing of course people together to share. I mean to see, okay, these guys are making this game and these guys are promoting this game, so there's a reason to work together. It's a hard work. It's everyday building and building and building this company, not necessarily just hiring more and more people. That's not the answer for everything. At the end of the day, you have to concentrate on effectiveness and streamlining processes and relationships within the company. I can keep going about this for hours, but at the end of the day, this is very exciting, this is very interesting, and this is what I also enjoy. Yes, playing World of Tanks and making World of Tanks, but also we're building one of the best companies in the world.
Yes, one short announcement as we're almost like there. One last question from both of you. Victor, zapraszam kartę to chess.
Okay, so I guess as you are primarily responsible for the majority of the stuff that happens, I'm assuming like most of the big decisions fall to you, but you also play the games as well. So how do you balance between what you would personally like as a player and what you think maybe the gamers won't, or this is the kind of thing I really don't like but players really seem to suck it up? How do you kind of find that balance?
Well, this is not actually quite true that I tell everyone what to do. No, how do I know? Today, with so many games and platforms and this huge amount of players, this is turning into data-driven business. It's not my will or my, you know, the fact that I'm smart and this is my bright idea. No, we have specially trained people. We have analysis, we have testing, we have prototyping. We have the whole process of. We have people who listen to the community, who communicate with them on the forums and personal meetings during esports matches. So no, I'm out of the picture pretty much from everywhere. I'm more of a building, you know, teamwork on the top level of the company. I have suggestions and I can freely submit them, but my suggestions or my ideas go through the same standard process as the other game designers. You know, testing, prototyping, analysis. So no, there are people whom I trust and to whom this role is delegated. They choose ideas, they shape them. So it's not me.
Okay, my last question is not about the world of games, but actually there are still people who are wishing probably a next massive assault game.
Yes, our first DNA was this not free-to-play, but the classical hexagon or square grid turn-based battles. They're deep in my heart. I have to confess. Probably compared to playing tanks, I still play Civilization. This is my confession. Every week I spend 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours playing Civilization, usually at night when everybody's sleeping. So I love those games, and but they you know, they belong to, this is heritage now. I don't believe we can make any money with new Massive Assault in its classical turn-based single-player or multiplayer form. It's more like a piece of art today. So I don't have anything else to add today apart from the fact that I love with all my heart games like Civilization, like Panzer General, and yes, like Massive Assault.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.